Hey, espresso lovers, welcome to Whole Latte Love. Mark and I got Zach with me here today.
Hello, everyone.
And we are going to, which is part 2 of Dual Boiler Espresso Machines. We got the Profitec lineup, Zach, right?
Yeah, we are the Profitec Pros today, coming at you with a drive on Mark's side over here. So with that nice dual boiler, actually, you have all dual boilers
all
today.
Dual boilers, 3,
and then we also have a nice done-up ride over here with the walnut accents from Vitamin. And then we also have our Move, which is a little bit different. So we got a couple E61s, and then we have a different kind of machine over here that we're gonna be kind of walking through how you can actually program these machines, making it a lot easier for your morning.
Yeah, I dialed in over here on the drive, so we'll see. We may need to do some dialing in over here, or you can do that with us, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Couple things I want to mention. Of course, there are great special offers happening in Whole Latte Love all through the holiday season, especially right now. We're doing this live Black Friday, but it continues on, so you might be watching this later. And we can really help people out. Now, we're live right now. We're going to give you a demo of the machines, but we have something called CoffeeCast. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so CoffeeCast is a one-on-one with one of our coffee pros. So if you're going through and you're kind of creating some questions in your head, if you're not dropping them in our comments, which we're looking at live throughout, and you have that comment later on, or you have some additional questions to what we're going over, feel free to schedule a one-on-one CoffeeCast with one of our experts, and it's basically grabbing any of these machines, if not the same set, and we can actually hop on that one-on-one with you.
Yeah, like a private live video consultation. It's really cool.
Exactly.
All these machines right here, just so you know, they're going to be free shipping. We've got lots of great deals. We got lots of gift with purchase going on right now while you're watching this. Those change. I'd love to say exactly what that is, but it changes.
It does change
over
throughout
time.
Black Friday. Yep.
And what? Oh, gift with purchase. Oh, and it's a year of wood. The customizations on it. So we've got a couple out here, and we've got some accessories that go along with that. So if you really want to customize your setup, I say 2020. I mean, we started with the wood accessories, a few years back, but man, there is so much available right now.
Yeah, and if you want to, if you are curious on how that actually looks too, you can actually hop on our website and you can actually mix and match all your different colors, wood variants. I definitely recommend checking out the Apartamento TC8 with all of the different kinds of side panels, colors, wood variants. There's so much to explore on there.
It really is. Let's see. We talked about free shipping on all these machines, 3-year warranties, serviced by us right here. And we can give you tech support if you ever need it with that live video down the road.
Exactly. So much like how you're trying to buy your machine, if you ever run into issues down the line and you're curious or just curious over any technical questions that you might have, we also have those barista assists, which are after the fact. After you buy, we still keep taking care of you.
And we're really proud of that customer support. And I think we'll probably put up a little graphic here that shows a couple of the awards we've gotten. I think USA Today 2025, we were there. They are. Best customer service there, and America's best online shops from Newsweek. So we really do focus on you guys and want to make your life really easy and let's just get at it and take you through some great machines, right?
Awesome. So I think that we should start on my side over here.
Sure.
So it's a little bit of a different machine, the Move. It's still a dual boiler. It just looks a little bit different than your typical E61 styles. And what I really like about this, like maybe you have a significant other that also pulls espresso. Maybe you have 2 grinders and you like a medium roast and a decaf or something like that. You can actually program 2 different kinds of buttons with 2 different kinds of pre-infusions right on the front panel. So there's no fumbling around with flow control and E61. I hate to say fumbling around. I think it's kind of fun. But still, this machine makes it as easy as possible. And also, the sleek format that it is really nice.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of all black. I love this because, like for years, and I started, doing this about 15 years ago, these were all shiny metal boxes. And now we've gotten to a lot more variety with the blacks, and there's other machines. There's a green we really love on one of our machines. But if you take a look at it, these are really nice.
Very slick kind of side profile as well.
This one has the cool barista lights, which I call out. And I don't know if you can really see them in the lighting here. But, imagine, I think in the video I said, imagine waking up in the morning and you walk into your kitchen and those barista lights are staring you in the face.
It is kind of nice.
It's a very, very, very luxe look.
Very kind nightlight there.
Yeah.
So.
And we have 3 different grinders here. We've got the Eureka Mignon Magnifico. We've got the Eureka Atom W75. I do love a weight-based grinder, especially when I'm doing a lot of testing, just knowing what you're going to get every time without yanking the scale out. And then, of course, if you've been watching any of the streams or been watching me over the last decade, this is my favorite grinder of all time. I mean, Chiato's come out with a newer model, but boy, there's great deals on this. We're going to continue to have the E37S here. Huge 83 millimeter burr grinder, purrs like a kitten.
and I actually had these.
Fluffy.
I actually had these in my coffee shop too.
Yeah.
So I know them, and they've lasted, still to this day with the new owners.
Yeah.
So
these are used commercially. This is full on commercial quality grinder. But let's get to the move, huh?
Let's get to it. All right. So again, we can kind of adjust our programs within different kinds of shots. So one key feature that we're going to be looking at today, which is kind of new within a lot of different machines. We kind of saw it before on even entry-level machines. Yeah. This one has a little bit of an upgrade to that pre-infusion, just in the sense that we can go ahead and hold down our button today. We can choose whether or not we want flow control, or no, pre-infusion. There you go, all the words. Pre-infusion with that shot. And then we can then, again, program that shot to then stop as well. Right. So anyone can kind of come back and repeat that shot. So again, it has a PID right on this front face. And we can go into different settings of whatever we'd like, from brew temperatures to enable fast heating. It's a very fast machine as well. Something that we actually mentioned in a previous stream is that it does actually decrease that temperature pretty quickly after brewing and steaming, but it also heats up extremely fast. Right. So all you have to do is pay attention to your PID, where that's at, and you're right back to temp. We also have a couple other settings on here, including coffee offset corrections, which is something that we can always guide you through a barista assist as well. You can also set schedules, set your clock, and a bunch of other menu options that you typically see within these other E61 PID sort of control. And
this is a smaller boiler over the group. So one of the really cool things is you can change temperatures very quickly on this because it is a smaller boiler, but you also get the fast heat up, which is really nice. And I think about a machine like this, like, who is this one for, say, compared to a big E61 dual boiler like the Drive over here? I mean, what would you say?
I would say that you want some control, and then you want that repeatability and a press button, the sleek design of it that will actually fit in a lot smaller situations. Like this would be kind of the apartment machine for me, because dual boilers do get pretty large. We'll look at the ride next. You can see that it is a little bit bigger on your counter there. But that is kind of like next up in size when it comes to dual boiler. So this is keeping it very nice, sleek, small for kind of your apartment, and giving you ability still.
And we should just quickly mention, a couple of very basic differences about these machines. So reservoir fed on the move, reservoir fed on the ride, reservoir or plumb to a full-time water connection on the Drive here. And I love not filling reservoirs. You might have heard me say that before. Another key difference, vibration pump, rotary pump over here. So that the rotary pumps flow a little faster.
It's a little bit different. If you have a press sensor on one of these E61s, which I would highly recommend as well, which typically it will look like that. And we can actually exchange that. Typically we'll have something right there. We don't actually have our pressure gauge on here, but we would actually put one of our press sensor instead of this Allen right here. So this is how it's going to come kind of stock to you. And then we would actually just change out to something like this press sensor that will actually then track the pressure over time. You can connect it to a Varia scale, or you can go analog like so on the Drive as well. So those are two different kinds of options. This one will really actually show the difference between that vibe pump and your rotary pump, just on the smoothness of that curve.
And that not only will do pressure, but it connects to an app where you can connect it to a scale like the AccuPro that I have right here, so that you can get a graph of your flow over time and how that's happening in relation to pressure, and do lots of fun things. We won't go deep into that, but we did a really cool video about that.
Yeah, and so it's just as easy as that to really make your machine a smart machine. connect it to different apps and anything like that. And again, this is how it kind of comes stock. You'll just take out that Allen and you'll put in this. It's as simple as that.
Now, if you got it stock with a flow control, it would have more of a gauge like this on the E61.
Yeah,
okay.
so a little bit different. Yeah.
Okay. So over on the move. So we got a gauge down low there. That's got the it's got your boiler pressure and your brew pressure, or I should say system pressure, really.
Yeah, your system pressure. So you have a pretty easy to see gauges too. It's not stuck behind anything. There's no lever or anything like the E61. And it's nice and easy to see with those brew lights as well.
Yeah.
The drip tray is actually a fairly decent size as well on this, which I really enjoy, especially for such a small machine. Typically you'd see like really small, insignificant drip trays on these things.
I mean, I mentioned something like Sylvia, maybe.
Yes, exactly. The Sylvia is just like a little tiny drip tray. And
it's a fine machine, don't get me wrong, but the drip tray triggers me a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And if you didn't see in our earlier live stream, we do have the new Sylvias in sage green and white, and now with PID.
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
I did see that.
It's exciting for everyone here.
All right, so we're gonna pull a shot. We're gonna use the Magnifico over here.
Yeah, let's go ahead and use the Magnifico. Again, we just kind of took this out of a new box right now.
Yeah,
so we're gonna see where it is. We're gonna dial in together. We're gonna show you how easy it is also to just quickly dial in your move.
Cool.
It's as easy as pulling a shot.
Cool.
Which is great. So we're also gonna be using this Wiedemann funnel as well. So basically it just kind of traps in a lot of our grounds and everything like that, keeps it nice and sustained within there. So we can then do the WDT afterwards and then tamp as well.
Here's another little thing about when you first get them new out of the box, they tend to produce a little more static.
Correct.
Which as the burrs break in, get some oil on them.
And it's winter. There's so much static right now. We actually have humidifiers just so we can actually run these grinders a little bit better without static and, for equipment purposes.
Unless you're in South Florida or something, maybe it's a little more humid down there.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing I didn't do is use our scale to actually see what weight we were at. So let's go ahead and grab that Varia scale.
Yeah.
I'm going to grind one more time out here. If you can go ahead and... Nope. I have something over here. Thought ahead of time.
The Varia scale is cool, and there's this little trick where you flip the pad over so you can put a portafilter on there. Yeah, you little tear.
And we're going for a bottomless extraction. One cool thing about these new hybrid portafilters that come with the Move is that it's just as easy as putting the bottom on to turn it into a spouted portafilter. I think this is ingenious. I don't know why I wasn't around earlier, to be honest.
And I did actually some temperature testing because people were like, well, isn't it going to be colder because you're not heating up the metal of the spouts and stuff? And the answer is a silicone insert like that, actually you end up with a hotter espresso.
Wow. Yeah.
Because the silicone is not...
Wow,
you should know this, right? But because silicone's a very poor conductor of heat, whereas the metals used in portafilters, they can conduct heat very well.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, 14 grams. We're going to start at 16 grams.
Yeah, 16.
Right?
So let's go. So you can bump that on that grinder, right? Yeah.
So very easy grinder to get into, the Magnifico. I mean, it's part of the Eureka Mignon series. I think any grinder that you kind of get within this series is a great way to go. This one's going to be great because it's made only for espresso, so you also have a lot of ability to kind of dial in different kinds of coffees too.
Yeah.
You have a large range, and it's still stepless with the very cool touch screen as well.
Yes, really cool touch screen. Oh, and it's got the access from the top if you want to clean out your burrs, which you should do every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
You can remove the top get at the burrs without changing your grind size at all. And it does do a nice job bumping there. Sometimes it gets a little weird when you're trying to bump a grinder with a little bit of a dose.
All right, Mark, where are we at? 16.3. Is that acceptable?
I'm at 0.2, 0.3. We've talked about this, right?
I know. I've talked about it with John earlier on a stream as well of what is acceptable.
What is acceptable?
I like saying like 0.2. 0.3 is kind of pushing it in my book, but
we'll see how you do. I think everything's going to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
So that's that nice WDT tool. It comes in matching woods, very similar to what we have on the machines from Wiedemann, custom made in Germany.
And this is the V Decent. So this is actually a new pressure regulating tamper as well. So if you want to keep as many variables the same as possible, this is a great way to do it. It's just going to give a very deliver 15 pounds of pressure every single time.
And keep you nice and level when you're tamping.
And keep you nice and level too. So I know we were looking for a leveler earlier, and I was like, Mark,
we got
a V decent. We don't need to.
See, I was using the Bravos earlier, and we had a leveler and their push tamper.
Yeah.
So,
Which
but
is
different
a nice
strokes
system.
for different folks, right?
Yeah. It is a nice system, the Bravo system. So we've definitely used that in expos and throughout the world, used by professionals. So, all right.
Are you going to weigh the shot?
Puck. I am going to weigh the shot.
Okay.
Always weighing.
You're going to do a 1-to-2 ratio?
These are pros. They're looking at dual boilers. Of course,
right.
I'm going to weigh my shot. Of course, I'm going to start with a 1-to-2.
You have to hit 32.6 grams because it's 16.
It's a test.
Yeah, 16.3 dose. If
All right.
my math's right.
So we're actually going to program this on the go too, just assuming that it's going to be correct. I like to actually kind of program it every single time as I'm dialing in.
Right.
Because if it is correct, all you have to do is press the button
Press the
again.
button again.
It's perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use, let's go ahead and use this. Nope, this.
Yeah, use my, I really like these cups that Zach's using here for the espresso.
All right, so all we have to do is go ahead and pick a button. Also, look at our temperature. Is this a temperature that we want for this coffee? Yes, 198. Let's go for it.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll hit this to like around 200 with this specific coffee.
It's the crema wave we're using. Yep.
Yeah, so actually let's go ahead and here, before I'm pulling my shot, I'm just going to go ahead and increase this really fast. What's fun is that your selecting buttons are then your actual shot buttons as well. I'm going to increase that to 200 because that's a little more what I like to pull this crema wave at. And if you have any questions about brew temperatures with specific coffees, that's a whole separate lecture that I would love to go into. All right. And then once we're good to go, we can select and we're good to go.
Yeah. And
so
this is going to
we'll
back
time out.
out.
Yep. We'll time out. We'll actually watch that temperature go. And I would highly suggest not baking your puck like I am doing here. But
they tend to go a little faster, right? The warmer they get.
Yeah, exactly. It is a form of pre-infusion because it's kind of like saturating with heat and steam.
Yeah.
So this isn't good.
And
should we wait a little bit longer?
Well, sure. Because I can see from the side the cup wasn't quite.
Yeah. So this is a very deep
Yes.
Drip tray as well. So something to really kind of acknowledge, but luckily that spout is nice and low to the drip tray. So no matter how far you're actually moving the scale back, it's okay. All right, do you think
I think we're good.
Enough?
I mean, it says 200. Let's go.
All right, so all I'm going to do is hold down on my button, whichever button I choose. It's going to say pre-infusion on. I can either turn on or off my pre-infusion just by these two numbers or buttons. Those aren't numbers. And then we're just going to press it again. This will start my pre-infusion, count that
with
down.
a timer.
And I'm looking for that pre-saturation. And I press it again if I want some time in between for it to fully saturate. And then I'm going to press again for my actual extraction now. And I do like a little bit of time in between for it to fully saturate.
Well, looks like, hey, we might be doing pretty well here.
Yeah, so again, this is basically out the box.
Now, if you hit 32.6, I owe you $5. 31.
Nope. 32.
2 more drops and you'd be there. I didn't see the time over there.
It's
but I
32 on the dot.
32 on the dot.
Okay. I'll accept that.
Okay.
But it's pretty good, right?
But that was a grinder right out of the box.
Grinder right out of the box.
I adjusted the grind size once. So we got pretty lucky. I think the time was around 24, 25 on that.
Yeah. So
that 1 to 2, which is perfect.
I think that's just about perfect to me. And honestly, great crema right out the bat. I'm good with that. So let's go ahead and give it a sip. Cooties?
I'll take them. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's a really nice shot of crema wave.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it produces an amazing espresso. It stayed consistent throughout. As you can see, we did drop temperature a little bit. 199 now. It's going to come back to 200.
You're there.
And we're already back to 200. So,
but that is a PID control on that.
Exactly. So you can control that temperature from there. I think overall it's been a phenomenal machine. We've actually had it within the kitchen here at Whole Latte Love. So it's actually seen a lot of consistent shots throughout the day.
I mean, if you want, so like, let's say you had, a specialty lighter roast, a denser bean, and you want to go to 203 maybe with that. On this type of machine, you could be at 203 in a few minutes. If maybe you had a single doser grinder or something. We don't have one of those up. We did some earlier.
Mhm.
But if you're switching coffees around a lot, I mean, this is a machine, and if you're going to pump out lots and lots and lots of drinks, maybe not this one, but
Yep.
for 2-3 people in a gathering, I think this is perfect.
Exactly. And steam pressure, we'll actually kind of see it's going to be a little wet at first. It's still strong. We can then control, again, it's PID controlled dual boiler, so we can really control that temperature as well and increase that temperature. I think this, right out the box, though, what it kind of sets at between that like 260 to 272, I believe it kind of maxes out at, is perfect for people who are kind of working on building up texture. So it has a nice dry steam, as we can kind of see. It is a two-hole, and that all kind of helps you with building up steam over time, especially good for cappuccinos, as to where there's a little bit of skill on these next two machines because it does steam very, very fast. Although it might be that same temperature, different kind of steam.
But yeah, I mean, and that's an interesting thing about, boiler sizes is you can have the same pressure in two different boilers, but if one boiler is much bigger than the other, you've got a lot more steam in there, frankly.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're going to go a lot
steam
faster.
Building up, yep.
But you can adjust the temperature, the steam temperature on all these. So if you want to go faster or slower, whatever to match your skill level, that's very doable on these. And when you change steam temperatures on dual boilers, unlike heat exchangers, you're not going to affect your brew temperature at all.
Exactly, and that is key because there's only a small little area in which we're actually wanting to extract coffee. Having the ability to just independently actually control that temperature without having to move our steam temperatures is brilliant.
And I see we love the questions here. So we got Margirl. Hi there. I have a Bazzera Duo and have it connected to the water line since a couple of weeks. Now I am wondering, how do I descale my machine? Well, I have really good advice for you, and I just happen to have it here. If you're connecting to water line, what you do is you put in a filter like a BWT Best Max Premium, so long as you don't have like weird edge case water issues with your direct line.
Which if you do, let us know because we can definitely help you with that. What we can actually do is set you up with one of the BWT titration kits. Take a little quick test at home, and we can set you up with one of the best filters for you, depending on your water issues.
And if you use this properly, you will never have to descale that machine.
Exactly.
We've been carrying BWT stuff for years and never had anybody say, I cause scale, but that's the deal. They replaced calcium with magnesium. We're going to get a little technical here. They replaced calcium with magnesium. Also got the activated carbon for removal of chlorination and other chemical taints that you might have, but no scale if you use these properly. And they have some other options too. Check out the website. There's more for reservoir-fed machines than that.
Again, or call our team. We're definitely able to help. A lot of that actually comes over to me because I'm the water guy. So if you have any questions about water, feel free to reach out.
So do you want to do just a little froth on the move, or?
We might as well.
We're here. Yeah.
So I think for each one, we'll do a little bit of milk frothing just on this small little revolution. One cool thing about dual boilers in general is that we don't actually have to rely on these small milk pitchers anymore that produce like more of a vortex and use less milk. We can now upgrade to larger pitchers because we have all of this steam. We have two boilers. One's filled with steam. That's the purpose of it. So
that's a 20 ounce. So you could go there. If
we could go there. Yeah.
Doing really big lattes, a couple of those for sure.
For what we just poured, I'll still pour some latte art, even though the espresso has been sitting. I'll go ahead and steam this up really quick. All right. So I'll wait for my camera over there. I'll do a little pre-purge. And it's a 2-hole. So you're actually going to change how you steam depending on which steam wand we're actually using today. I believe they're all going to be 2 holes. We'll be able to kind of double check that here. 2 holes, I would always say that the less holes that you have, the further out you want that direction. The more holes you have, the more you want inside the center of your pitcher. That's
going to kind of help make a couple of vortexes in there, right?
Exactly. So it's going to create either its own circle or we're creating the circle or the vortex. All right. Start in the center and drop. And as you can see, I'm towards the outside, not as far as I would go with like a single hole.
Yeah, good look at that. What's the number one tip you have for somebody who's new to frothing milk?
Well, we're actually going to go through that on
We are?
Monday.
Oh, you got to come back Monday. We're going to keep it a secret.
We are going to keep it a secret. And it all has to do with temperature.
Okay.
So
I'll
can
help
that
you out
be
here.
my number one tip is just paying attention to temperature?
Paying attention to temperature?
Yeah.
Please tell me you're going to tell people don't do it too hot.
Oh, please don't.
Don't do it too
I mean,
hot.
it breaks it down.
Yeah.
Like the chemistry breaks down too much too if you increase the temperatures too much.
Too much heat bad.
Too much heat bad.
Milk is much sweeter in that, that 120 to 140 range.
I mean, it works just like coffee. If things are too hot, we can't actually tell that things are sweet. Our brains are incapable of that.
Because you're like burning your tongue. It's like why they serve hot coffee or bad coffee super hot and bad beer super cold, because you can't taste it as well.
So I was turning around and not looking this whole entire time. So I have a couple bubbles here. You can just kind of tap those out. I'll blame it on that.
Okay.
Swirling my espresso. And my milk's not that great, but we're going to try something.
And the espresso's been sitting there for 10 minutes. Hey, look at that. I mean, that's something for
for sitting
all the
out.
challenges there, right?
It's like pouring into soap,
Yeah. And there is that trick we did one time where
we did.
Where you use a little soap in the waters to practice your frothing.
Yep.
And it kind of froths up just like milk.
Yeah, so if you ever need to practice this, especially when you're getting a new machine or getting used to the move as well, it's a great tactic to start just practicing with soap right away when you get the new machine.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Any other questions here? So you put the water line on that machine and then in the espresso machine. So the BWT, I guess you're referring to this. So you'd feed this with water, and it has a meter for how much, and then it comes out the other to the espresso machine.
Yeah, if I'm understanding the question, it's not in the machine either.
No.
It's literally just in line with the machine.
Under the counter.
Yeah, under the counter. Now there are other options, like you see us using with all these machines today. We actually used a aqualizer pitcher. So it's from
Hey,
BWT.
guess what?
It does the same exact thing. So it still uses magnesium and exchanges calcium with magnesium, which is both for flavor and for function. So we do need some minerals. You can't just have it completely empty. That's horrible. Basically, your boiler turns into a battery and starts eating it away.
So corrode metals.
Yeah, so very, very bad. That's not use filtered water. And then when getting a dual boiler, I feel like this is one of the first questions too that you should have. And I'm happy that people are asking about water because it's one of the most important things. When you get your machine, look at water every single time.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Mark.
You don't want problems. Okay, so we're going to go over to the ride. So bigger boilers here, E61 group, as we kind of talked about. It's got separate gauges now down here. This one does have a fast heat up on it. So what it does is it overheats the brew boiler a little bit, and then you do a flush, and then it's ready to go. We did that a long time ago in setting up for this. And let's see, we're going to use the W75. This is a big boy, 75 millimeter burrs. As opposed to the 83s we'll look at in the Chiato D37S. But boy, I really do like a weight-based grinder. You just set the portafilter in. You see, so let's get a look at that. Oh boy, somebody was a bad boy.
I think that was Mark.
Probably me, if we were dialing in beforehand. So we'll get that all wiped up and dry.
All right, so, and with this W75, again, flat burrs, 75 mils. This is kind of what we're looking for when getting into dual boilers. We're looking at nuance when it comes to these machines. They can do more, so we need a grinder that will we can utilize the machine to the best of its ability. And it really does come down to the grinder. This is kind of the gas to your machine.
And I'll pull that out just so you get an idea. If there's a good camera to show it on. There it is. So that very fluffy grind with the bigger burrs, you're always going to get a fluffier grind, I think, with those. The distribution into the portafilter was excellent. And as you can see, all I had to do is just set this into the cradle and the grinder does the rest.
Yep.
I mean, we still set up a grind size.
Yeah.
Now, did you dial this one in a bit or no?
A bit.
A
yeah,
bit?
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I am
if
going
not, then we'll show how easy it is to dial in because it.
But we were at 16 grams on this one. So I am going to do a little WDT here.
We'll see if my triangulation is correct. So with all of these flat burrs, they're very uniform. And I feel like the gradients in which you're actually identifying what grind size you need, you can use triangulation. So maybe you go too coarse, maybe you go too fine, and then somewhere in between. And with flat burrs, it's going to be consistent that way. Sometimes with conicals, the geometry can mess up that sort of triangulation. It's creating a lot of fines, which creates a lot of restriction and a lot of like unnecessary variables that could go wrong. That being said, there's also great conical burrs out there with new geometries and burr materials these days.
All right, so I am going to weigh the output here, see how we did. I am going to use my new favorite espresso cups. I love these things so much. If you can see, this guy. Because I like to be able to mix the espresso a little bit. I also like it to be able to cool it a little bit. So as we talked about, I can taste it a little better. So we'll see how we did. We do have the flow control on here. We're set to the stock flow rate. We do, if you're interested in getting more into the flow control, we do have a ton of videos on that and some very specific profiles. And so we'll see how we do. So we're going to look for the 32 again. Oh, you're gonna flow me, aren't you? You're going to save the shot if we're not there?
No, I'm just going to do some crazy.
All right, we're at 16 seconds. 17.
I'm ramping down currently, just based off of color.
And I am going to cut it.
Oh. Nope.
Just a little over.
Oh, you're touching the back. That's why.
Oh, that's why. Okay.
Okay, there you go.
We're at 30.31 grams. So we're pretty close. We're in 1.5 grams of our desired output there. I'm going to give this one a taste.
Not good enough, Mark.
Not good enough?
Not good enough.
You were, where were you? 0.6 off?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Precisely.
So your delta was exactly half of mine. Okay. But still, I can't taste the gram difference.
Oh, you can't?
No.
Well, what about the burr difference as well? So each of these burrs, especially having a larger geometry, could actually change the overall flavor profile as well. Eureka's tend to be a little bit more favored towards the Italian roast sort of styles. I feel like the distribution of fines and grinds within that is definitely towards that darker roast.
I mean, if anything, what I got out of that was just a hair more sweetness.
That's so much sweeter. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, just a hair. But
just a hair.
Yeah, no, it's a different kind of body as well.
Yeah.
So I feel like more of a caramel note came off of this, where this was a little bit more of that chocolate. So it's slightly different. But.
Yeah. So let's talk some more about the machine here. All the machines we were looking at also have the joystick, quick steam, lever operated valves. They get called by a lot of different names. Before we go too far, this is too complicated for most. Ancient cultures still love and drink coffee, as is no milk, no fancy gadgets. I think coffee has the magic spell. Well, sure, okay, I'm on board with that. It should be what you like. That's my thing. If you like a coffee a certain way, that's what you should drink. That's why we have this thing where we always taste everything, right?
Yep.
Because you may find that a shorter or longer, you like that for some reason. It works better with the milk drink that you're doing. Let's see. You want to take the 2.5 ratio?
Oh yeah. So let's see if I can read. I do a 2.5 ratio that is with cappuccino. I use a single dose Chiato almost exclusively, though I have an ECM S automatic 64, good grinder. But I've never quite figured out how to use the auto feature. Maybe we should actually include that grinder in one of these live streams.
Yeah.
So maybe we can actually return that. Or always barista assist as well to really kind of get through and dial in that grinder with you.
I think I'm not sure if this is what you're getting at, Michael, but using the automatic, the timed grinding, maybe that's what you're talking about. Because the thing on a timed grinder for me is that as you change the grind size, the amount of coffee you're grinding in that amount of time is going to change as well.
Correct.
And as you're dialing in, you want to keep your dose weights consistent as possible. And that's why, a weight-based grinder, you just know you're there every single time, right?
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
when you
It's
change
one of those
grind.
variables that you're constantly paying attention to. With time,
Yeah.
it's also changing weight, and then you have to make up for that. And there's so many different variables that are kind of also changing at the same time.
And that's why, a single dose can be really easy. It's a little more work because you're going to weigh your beans beforehand and load them up and all that. But then, you put in 18 grams of beans or, whatever the dose is you're using, you're pretty much going to get 18 grams out every time.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right. I think we're going to go on to the steam pressure of this machine. So as we can see, it feels just about the same. I think the only difference with that larger boiler, it feels more consistent as we steam.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see that while we're in our steam time as well.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to approach this the same exact way.
And if you're really interested in all those steaming times, if you go to the full reviews, we have one on each of these machines. We do steam test them all for time to steam, amount of water added during steaming, all that, as well as brew temperature, stability testing. You noticing much?
Yeah,
different?
so it feels like a whole different experience.
Really?
Actually, I think the fluctuation of the steam on this machine does change how you're actually steaming as you go as well. I feel like a lot of what makes good texture in milk is that you're also changing, you're watching your milk as you go, and you're also changing like the geometry and angle
finding
and
spot.
Finding its spot. I feel like with the move, you're finding a different spot throughout.
Okay.
This one stayed very consistent throughout, which is how I just know automatically that it maybe had a little more consistent.
The pressure being consistent throughout. Okay.
I don't have to work this as much. It looks kind of like ready to pour. I don't really have too much crema inside this espresso anymore.
I mean, you didn't have much on the first one either.
Yeah, so we'll
see how you do.
what we got. Yeah, I think the texture looks a little bit better. Maybe I'm a little more practiced this round.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the same weird sort of latte art. But not a bad match. Yeah. Just as oblong as well.
Yeah. Nice job.
Have the same defects.
I mean, I don't know. You're very even up here. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. So let's see. Dos solos. That's why I single dose. Yeah, I mean, single dosing is definitely an option. It is, you're going to put a little more effort into it. But I think for a lot of people, really, it's the process of doing it, right?
Yeah.
For everything from using a WDT or a leveler and all these little different things and weighing things. It gets you very involved in the process.
It's routine.
Yeah.
I like single dosing. I single dose at home, but I'm also using a lot of different kinds of coffees. I'm freezing those coffees, and I'm dosing them out in my 20-gram jars and everything like that. So I go kind of crazy with it, but you don't even have to go that crazy to see the nuance and what makes single dosing special and fresh.
And there's a lot of good single dose grinders out there, like if you're using multiple brew methods, that you can really do that. It's a question I used to get all the time if I go back 5 or 6. I want a multi-purpose grinder. Which one should I get? We're not going to talk about those now, but there are some really good ones out there. Ask us about it. We can tell you.
We actually went over a few
Did you do some
entry-level
earlier?
ones.
Okay.
But yeah, well, we'll be getting to a few. Special shout-outs to LifeX, Chiato.
Yeah,
that's a great one. That's a great
one. So just before we move onto the drive over here, so on the ride, we have a lot of the same controls here through the controller here.
Correct. Yeah, it's all going to basically be about the same. I'm also going to start cooling this down so we can actually show how easy it is to then change out to our press sensor.
All right. So let's go over to the big boy here. So this is, if you've been doing espresso for any length of time, you probably heard about the ProfTech Pro 700. This is the next generation from that. This machine is also incredibly similar to the ECM Synchronica and the Synchronica 2. In fact, you go inside, it's the same boilers. It's no secret, ECM and ProfTech are sister companies. I love this blackout look of this thing.
Oh, yeah.
I really do.
With the olive wood, I think it's just gorgeous. And I'm a big fan of like the bottomless olive wood portafilter as well. So
Yeah.
you can get this in bottomless. If you want to kind of deck out your machine like this, I definitely suggest heading to our website where you can kind of build that in real time.
Yeah.
Or calling one of our sales pros, hopping on one of those CoffeeCasts and kind of just mix and matching as you please.
Yeah, and I mean, we've even got, we got the, custom mode lids for the hopper tops and that kind of thing. And of course the matching tools. So let's go into this. So again, this is the big boiler machine, right? This is the vibration pump machine. Or no, rotary pump, sorry.
Rotary, which we actually got a great comment in right now about that too.
Yeah.
So how much of a difference does the rotary pump make in terms of taste between the ride and the drive? And that's actually, in fact, something that I want to taste right now. We did have these other ones dialed in with a different grinder. Maybe we can use a similar grinder again with this just to kind of see the difference in taste. I know in my head the difference. The thing is with rotary pump, you can mimic whatever vibe pump, you can mimic whatever rotary pump. It just requires some dialing in.
Especially if you have one of these on top.
Exactly, because really what is different is kind of that initial ramp up. Your pressure profiles just look a bit different. That's all. That's really the only difference, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, at the stock flow rates, the rotary pumps just flow faster. I mean, unencumbered stock flow rate on most rotary pump machines, about 11 grams per second, about 8 grams per second of water flow on the vibration pump machines. Most of those, give or take a gram.
Yeah, and once we get like a press sensor on here, you can actually see that different ramp up too.
Yeah.
And you'll see a vibe pump kind of stick to that same curve as a rotary. It just kind of like wavers. But can you taste that difference of kind of like a PID versus a straight line? I don't know. Negligible.
So let's do this. Since this is my all-time favorite.
Okay, we're gonna do.
So we'll do one over here.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see.
I'll do another pour. How about that?
That would be great. And maybe, you know what, if you want to prep, why don't we, because, of course, the one thing you can do here is brew and steam at the same time. So if you want to prep milk, I'll pull a shot.
Oh, perfect. In fact, you want to go through the PID settings.
Yeah, let's go through some of those settings. So if we'll get a camera in here, and I'm going to try not in block. So to get into these here, it's just press and hold and wait and wait.
The other thing is that you have to press them.
There we go. If I press them. So we got brew temperature. Oh, I did. And you got to kind of move quick here. So, okay. So we got brew temperature. And I'm not hitting the right button here. Sorry, guys. So I can change the brew temperature here. I'm going to leave that at 201 just for fun.
Perfect.
And I went back to brew temperature again because I wanted a 201. Then we got steam enable, so we can turn the steam boil off. We can do pre-infusion on this. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Turn on an echo mode, cleaning reminder, reset reminder, advanced user settings we can turn on and off. Filter reminder if you have a water filter. So a lot of settings there. This does have active and passive pre-infusion on this machine, in addition to the availability of flow control. So what the active phase does is activates the pump for a preset amount of time that you want. So maybe if you're doing one of those Italian coffees, you just want a couple seconds just to wet the surface of the coffee to help reduce any challenge. And you generally don't want to fully saturate a puck with pre-infusion on that type of a coffee in most cases.
Yeah, definitely. And if you want that pre-infusion to just really be as consistent as possible, that's when kind of programming is best used. Because with flow control, I think without something like a press sensor and installing one of those, it is kind of like, okay, I'm at 1 1/4 turns. I'm moving my way towards that. How many seconds? Sometimes it's hard to remember unless you're using it a lot. So it took me a lot of time and muscle memory to really specifically mimic things. I
mean, my favorite thing, with the flow control is on, a fresher coffee was always just to do a 1/4 turn open, which gives, flow rate. It's about 2 grams per second, and just go until I see the first drips.
Exactly.
From a bottomless, which makes it really easy. Then transition to a medium flow rate below the stock flow rate, and then just let that extraction go. It does wonders on those sorts of coffees. It really, really does.
Yeah, and we have lots of tips and tricks too. Or if you have any questions, definitely reach out to one of our experts. They'll kind of give you a best estimate of okay, you have this kind of coffee. I would start here. Or talk to your local roaster where you're you're buying your roasts, or if you are buying any of our roasts, we do have some preferences for those.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make you want? Do I get a shot of redemption on stopping this?
You can have the shot of redemption.
Okay.
Literally, shot of redemption.
All right, so I'm going to make sure I'm going that 1 1/4 turns. Make sure I'm at the stock flow rate on this coffee for right now, and you're going to steam while I control the shot here.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one thing to note with this, again, 2-hole. I know it's a larger dual boiler. It's still a 2-hole. I know there's a lot of people that prefer so many holes, 3, 4. It doesn't really matter too much as long as you have penetration. When we go through kind of our milk chemistry on Monday, I'm going to talk a lot about how well you can actually get this steam to just be in the right spot where you're penetrating all of your milk. And that's all it's about.
Very good. Okay.
I'm giving too many tips now.
You're giving it all away. Giving away all the secrets. All right, I'm really going to try. We were at 16 on here. Okay, so I'm going to try and stop this at 32. This one seems to be running maybe just a hair or so. We'll catch up here. 22, 23, 24, 27 seconds, and I'm at 32.4. Hey man, I beat you by.
Yeah, what the heck?
I think yours was 32.6. Oh, a couple drops. It's almost a tie. We'll call it a tie.
Okay. No,
and then we're going to let you pour into a fresh shot this time.
Wow. What should I do then?
What did you say you did earlier? You said you did something a little special earlier.
Oh, yeah, I was doing a seahorse.
Okay.
Yeah, we can see if we can do a seahorse. Just got to dump some milk really fast.
I see Nomad Solos pre-infusion at a constant 5 seconds. Okay. What kind of coffee are you using? I'd love to know that. How do you feel about pouring into this Varia sip cup?
I think it feels great, honestly.
Oh, look at that.
Mark's giving me peace and quiet.
I'm a scuba diver, so I love seahorses. I've only ever saw one in the wild once, though. But that is good. Oh, there it is.
All right.
Well, I think you've upped your game. I mean, of course, pouring into a fresh shot's got to help, right?
Oh, yeah. If I had the canvas, you might as well use it.
Now, you said the rye just felt more consistent throughout the steaming.
It did, and it actually felt really strong, very similar to the drive. There was something about the ride, and it might have to do with just like a fully different boiler that felt really good.
Yeah, but look, different boiler sizes, and I'm not sure what we have. Honestly, the steam temperature set at this. I usually set them all the way.
It felt a little bit lower than the other ones, but this is something that we can then adjust as well.
Yeah.
So I think the ride was actually up all the way, and then that one was down a little bit further. So.
All right. Well, let's go real quick. We'll just a quick recap. So we had the move, we had the ride, we have the drive, all Proftech all the time, all dual boilers, 2 vibration pumps, 1 rotary pump, 1, we call them ring groups sometimes, these boiler over the group design, and
Correct.
2 E61s that can do flow control. All 3 of the machines are available, have active and passive pre-infusion on them. I like a dual boiler. It's plumbable just so I don't have to fill reservoirs, and also so that I can very easily filter the water, so I'm never going to have to descale that machine, because you're going to look in the manual, you're going to say, yeah, don't descale the machine. Send it to a pro. So,
do you have any more questions? Let's see. So love the olive wood. Yeah, olive wood is one of my favorites too, especially on the black. After that, it's probably the walnut. which is probably why I put those on. Then we have yes,
Cover
pre-infusion.
that.
I keep constant 5 seconds. Yep, that's a great way to go to for most coffees as
Yeah.
well.
Mostly on single origins.
Use mainly single origins, yeah, and that's the key feature behind single dosers that we did not really go with this, but that is kind of utilizing your machine to the best of its ability, having this specific kind of control behind temperature. I feel like single dose or these heavier duty large hopper machine grinders are the best way to go with these machines.
One other question: what are the benefits of stainless steel boilers versus brass?
Oh, this is all just a heat retention sort of thing. So I feel like brass is a great way to retain your heat. Stainless steel is just a magical material too.
Yeah.
So specifically when it comes to a lot of corrosion, when you're also looking at metals that are also more conductive, they also have the potential to be more corrosive. That's just kind of how the science works. So if you're super concerned about that, again, BWT is the way to go.
Yeah, so you don't even have to worry about it. And I think once you get to that point, right? I mean, there's like on certain, there's some other machines we have that use the smaller that have brass boilers where the heat retention is very, very important.
Yeah.
When you get into machines of this size, I can't tell you, so long as I'm using good water in them, I don't really have a huge difference between copper, brass, or stainless.
Exactly.
And some of them are copper and brass.
Yeah, so when it comes to dual boilers, not much of a difference. Any other machine, I would say your steam pressure on a brass is like way drier, way better, way more consistent throughout that. But it also depends on that size of boiler as well. So big shout out to like an E24 with the brass boiler.
Oh, the Gaja,
the steam
Gaja
pressure.
Classic? Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. It's so fast. It's so consistent. I think it's a huge upgrade to the previous generations.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap it up. Guys, of course, it's that time of year, so we got great deals, gift with purchase on all of these machines. All of them have 3-year warranties. If you want a one-on-one demo, check out the CoffeeCast. You can schedule that with a Coffee Pro to take you through the intricacies of a machine maybe that you're interested in, right?
Exactly.
And we've got more live streams coming up. Of course, we'll replay these as well. So if you missed them, do check out the whole list of our live streams on the channel. If you're not a subscriber, why not go ahead and subscribe? We're not only showing you products, but we got a lot of technique videos that we go over, right?
Oh, yeah. And definitely visit our website where you can actually see all these customizations and mix and match them and see them in the actual environment. And also check us out on social media where we actually bring these machines into many beautiful houses and apartments and some great photos on there. So if you're thinking of your dream bar and you're not quite sure on which machine or how you want to design your bar, we have a lot of examples on there.
And if you got a great bar, share your bar with us.
Please,
right?
Yes, I'll be on there watching social media. If you send us your machines, I'd be happy to repost.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. More live streams coming up, and we'll see you back here soon at Whole Latte Love.
See you next time.